The topic for discussion today is building value system and national cohesion via education.
Once you have that unity of purpose, then you can achieve greater things. You know, the first attempt that mankind had unity of purpose, which was when they gathered to build the Tower of Babel in the book of Genesis, for those that are Christian. And it said the Son of Man came together to build a tower, and they started building that tower. There was unity of purpose, there was cohesion, there was cooperation. And God himself said, nothing, not even me, God, can stop them from what they have imagined to do. Imagination is the conceptualization of your dream that will propel your action. Because if you add the word images plus action, now images plus action is what is called imagination.
And we are trying to make our youth understand from this platform the need for you to still work towards oneness. It is still very, very key. You know what happened during NSAS shows that we can work with oneness as a unit, as a body, as a Nigerian. Because that period, there was no division, there was no Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, this and that. But we youth together and said, no, this must stop.
While we are young, professors don't care about materialistic things. You even see them, they wear adire and their hair, and then, but today all you need to do is to go to our ivory tower, or you even look at the most funniest one is VC of a tertiary institution having security details and security details protecting the VC in an ivory tower. It tells us about something which is really wrong with our entire system. So we need a comprehensive review of our educational system, that every citizen of Nigeria must know about Nigerian history, and then we must develop a curriculum on what is called the Nigerian nation.
So that means we need to encourage our children to go to school, because education is still the order of the day. If we have education, you know, we'll be able to also know the right step to take at any given time. It will help us to understand this unity we're talking about, because you now have vast knowledge to help you to understand that one. And I say here now, wow, how do we now build our value system and national cohesion?
While we're in primary school, as pupils then, you don't even know who is from where. We eat together, we play together. In primary school, we jump, dance, play. You don't even know a Muslim from a Christian. Now, when we get to secondary school, that's when you begin to see the division. You have the Muslim student society, the Christian student society, and the kind of unity which you have at the primary school begins to be broken down. By the time you get to the university, it becomes worse. Now, not only do you have two religious divides, you now have what you call, in my days, I don't know what they call it in your days, we have it, the Parapoism, the Ekiti Students Descendant Union, the Lagos State Student Descendant Union, the Cross River State, the Edo State Descendant Union. And I asked this, my sister Ehiliz is here. When she was giving birth to, she was in Western region. Well, later she moved to Midwestern region. Then she became Bendes. Then Bende to Edo Delta. Now, you could see in her lifetime, Nigeria has divided her into various parts.
Honestly, this is not a joke. That's true.
That's the reality of it, and it is not done because of our interest. It is not done because of the interest of the nation. It is done in the interest of people trying to create empire around themselves, for themselves, and which is and the only way we can do that is to understand and create an educational system that brings about a mental transformation. Once you have that mental transformation, Nigerians need a mental reconfiguration. We have been configured to hate one another. We have been configured not to trust one another. We have been configured to be mutually suspicious of one another, which was never so. So we need that national reconfiguration, and that national reconfiguration can come through education.
Can really come through education. That's where it's via education. So I think we have said enough here, believing that those listening to us will really put them into action from the government perspective, and also from individuals. Understand? Begin as individuals, not to separate yourself. That if as an individual, as a youth, to say, I am a youth, but I don't care where I come from. I don't care. In part of Nigeria, I am a youth, yes. So your friends, you cannot befriend only Yoruba. You cannot befriend only Igbo because you're Igbo. You cannot befriend. No. So if you have this understanding, as we are saying now, then we start from there to cooperate with each other, to understand and to love each other. We cannot be planning evil because you're Yoruba, you plan evil against Igbo. No, Igbo can plan against Hausa or against this one. No. If we begin to understand this, that we actually want, we'll begin from there, and then you see that the thing will spread before you know it spread, so that it will now overturn this evil that the orientation we already have in our mind, as Doctor had just mentioned. Then we'll take a break now, come enter question and answer. Vivid view. See them do it.
What gives birth to relationship first is love.
Somebody lost his wife, not his first wife. The next question is, why did his first wife die and the second wife die? We have no emotional balance, no emotional control.
Ladies will say, I don't like this man. Why don't you like him? He doesn't beat me. Because my father used to beat my mother.
In Nigeria, we have about 2.2 million people living with disabilities.
Wonderful.
We have the adults who are going through so much stress today, and they can't even have their head up in the society.
You that is bad, you are hitting your wife all the time. Stop beating. Don't turn your wife to punching bag.
Join us every Sunday on Vivid View with Ehiliz.
You see me, they wear native. It is a planner. It's in a fashion. Anywhere they do their enter chop rice.
I don't go give up till you go better for me.
My name is Ogenesume Mebradu, and my question is, what is the role of the media, especially the entertainment sector, in the reorientation and communication of national values?
Mr. Champion, so during your analysis, you talked about the dogmatic approach. Kindly shed more light on the dogmatic approach and the pragmatic approach to helping to enhance national cohesion and value system. And secondly, sir, what is your take on the current clamor for true federalism, for restructuring to enhance Nigerians' solutions to our problems? Thank you very much, sir.
My name is Victor. Please, sir, I want you to shed more light on moral value, on parenting, for children who are into dubious acts.
Welcome back. A lot of questions already from the audience. Please, I direct to you for your response.
Thank you very much. Someone said, Voiceman said, the quality of questions you ask determine the quality of answers you get. Questions are important for us to get clarification to issues. Now, the role of what is called the entertainment industry and the media industry in the cultural space. Well, the media industry, the entertainment industry are called the cultural industries because they are what is used to project the cultural values of any given society. And if you want to really, if you look at the movies of the 70s, of the 60s, compare that with the movies or the music we listen to now, you know that there's a lot of the need for investment and redirection with respect to what we need to do in order to bring about national cohesion and national value. There's a particular, I'm from the Southwest, and there's this song we used to listen to, philosophical songs. Then there used to be a philosophical underpinning behind every kind of music you listen to. For example, I remember Kade Fashola song, which is Ranti Omweni Ti Wonshi, Ranti Ile Totiwa. Remember the son of whom you are. Remember from the family you have come from. And so it's important. So I think that those that are engaged in that particular cultural space needs to understand that they have a role to play in about shaping the why do we have the incidence of drug consumption among our younger generation? You just think that what is projected in a lot of musical videos are smoke, which is a reflection of the culture they want to promote in the society. And if you watch movies reflect what happens in the larger society. And if you want to bring about a change, we need to make direct investment. And that's where government needs to make direct investment in that particular sector, so that we can bring about a change in the society. And because when we talk about mental investment, mental restructuring, you see, I share this with my students. There are two major currency we spend in this world. Two major currency that makes you to be human being. They are images and words. They are what? God said, let us make man after our image. So we are product of words created in images. So those two major currencies, what control do you have? And these are the two major currencies of the cultural industries. You listen to lyrics of music, and then they project whatever image through their musical video. So what investment is government making concerning that? So that we have philosophical song that promote the Nigerian value, that promote good moral value for the beyond the entertainment value.
This one is only value
of it. And then government in the 80s we have what is called war against indiscipline, because you have about the moral arm of government. In this present time we have what is called the National Orientation Agency. What are they doing? I recall in 1983, 1984, what you call jackpot now is called checkout. And there was don't check out. Andrew, don't check out. Now, in order to encourage Nigerians to believe and invest in Nigeria, but the National Orientation Agency, you don't even know whether they exist or not. Year in, year out, money is budgeted for that particular agency of government, but we are not getting that needed result. On the second question, which is the dogmatic and the pragmatic approach, we're a nation whereby you ask someone goes to church on Monday morning. Paul said, we have taught you this rule. He that does not work, let him not eat. He said, he that does not provide for his family is worse than an infidel. So there is the principle of God. There is the personality of God. You can't substitute one for the other. So Nigerians believe that prayer will solve all problems. Prayer will only give you an idea on how to solve a problem. There are still some practical steps. If it is by prayer, Nigeria should be the most developed country in the world. Because we can pray.
If by prayer alone.
We know we can pray and we can go to religious institutions. So we need a pragmatic approach. You need to take a practical step. Like the prodigal son. The prodigal son thought within himself, you know what? He said, I think that I need to go back to my father's house. Even if he accepts me as a servant, my life will be better than what it is now. And it's that approach that we need. We need that practical steps. We need to go beyond certificated education. We need to begin to talk about skill set acquisition. When people travel abroad, they do the kind of jobs they can never do in Nigeria. And they do it abroad joyfully. They will take certificates. Why can't we revive the vocational institutions we have? Why don't we have the technical school back? You can be a good bricklayer, you can be a good painter, you can be a good artisan, and you make much more money. And that's the work people do us, and they make much more money. You don't have to go to the university to make money. I recall while we were growing up, in the 60s and in the 50s and in the 70s, the richest people were farmers and traders, not the politicians. They were the richest people were farmers.
Politicians are actually meant to serve, really.
Exactly.
Not for them to acquire and become
takes to
leaders.
The other second leg of your question about restructuring. So we need to go back to the basics. No matter how long you travel on a wrong track, you never get to your destination. So moving forward sometimes, making progress sometimes might be going backward. So what we need to do, and that was the third pattern of the prodigal son, we need to go back. You need to talk about how we build the structure. Well, we need to restructure, go back to the basis whereby the power structure, both economic and political, were at the regional level and not at the central level. And we need to go back to that we give more power to the local government. Local governments are non-existent in the present political arrangement that we have in Nigeria. So there's a need for us to truly have that true federalism. When we have that true federalism, then we can begin to talk about national value, national cohesion, and the rest of it. On the last question asked with the role of parenting, Why is it that God decided that you come into this world through a family? God could have dropped anybody anywhere. It's because of the critical role parents play in the lives of their children. And then I've said it that as a parent, as a family, you must come up with the decision on what you want the future of your. There's a saying in one of Sonny Ade's song. He said, I'll say it in Yoruba language and then I'll try to translate. He said, Omweni Lola, Botiun Kiati Lola Tolai, Oluaje Komowa, Kolo Kikijualo. He said, your children are your future. He said, there's no amount of wealth you have. Your prayer is that your children should be more successful than you are in the future. Yes. Now, if you have that kind of philosophical underpinning concerning your children, you make critical investment as a parent. It is because you have lost the role of parenting. It has been substituted. While we are growing up, your father is the strongest man. Your father is the richest man, not auntie in school. Yes. But these days, the most intelligent person for our children are the aunties in school. No, my auntie said this, it's because my daddy said this, my daddy said that, and we need to recover back that. Yeah. Parents need to recover that self-worth and self-pride in making investment, particularly mothers. Like I said, mothers have critical role. If you study the lives of animals, it is the lioness that trains the lion king. Yes. It is the lioness that trains hunting. And why is it that God entrusted woman with the conception of the baby when the baby is formed for 9 months and to nurture the baby? In Hungary, you know what they did in Hungary? Now, what they did is that, if you give birth to, in order to increase the population and to ensure that parents are back home, if you give birth to 2 children, there's what government will give to you. If you give birth to 4 children, there's an incentive that government will give birth to you as in terms of tax break, in terms of social welfare package that the government will give back to family that raise children and the woman is at home to raise the children. And we need to come back to that basic because we need to train our children properly. And there's a key critical role of parent. When the mother leaves home in the morning, the father leaves home in the morning, and they come back in the night, the children are left in the hands of caregivers. What do these caregivers? Even the caregivers themselves, the caregivers themselves need care. When you leave your child in the hands of somebody that is 12-year-old, 13-year-old, he himself is still a teenager that still needs to be cared for. And when we do that, I can assure you that this nation will grow and will build national value system and cohesion that which we want to have.
The men are in more danger. More danger in the sense that when your eye is not single, you must make a mistake. You must make a mistake in relationship. That is why if you have one faithful girl who have shown you acceptance,
stay put,
accept you for who you are, and your eye is still outside, don't worry. Very soon you will go and marry Gomorrah.
And I also want to add on the side of the parents too. Do not encourage your children to do wrong. Like we heard that some mothers will go. Now they even have
mothers association. Yeah.
What because of money, there's some even go extra mile to go and buy computer or laptop for their son or daughter. So we should not do that. I want to be fine. I want to also enjoy myself. If your other do, I can do. No. Enjoy yourself in a very good way because you are misleading that child. You're misleading your children. And by the time, nemesis caught up with them, they will use you to cry. Say, Mom, you know what I was doing is wrong. Why did you encourage me? Story had it that one of the boys those days, after the war, that was caught as armed robbery. Yeah. And then they first firing squad. So when he was already tied to a stake for them to shoot, just ask him. There was always pastor to come and make the last prayer. They told the pastor, please come. The pastor came and he whispered to say, I want you to call my mother. Let me speak my mother last before I die. And then the mother was not there, but they went to call and said they were patient. And she ran to the stage. Oh, my mother. And she said, come. And she just come close now. Come close. Let me whisper something to you. And the woman said they just bind it seriously with all his might. They struggled to remove the woman from his mouth. And what do we say? Why did you do that? He said, because my mother was she encouraged me. He didn't ask me to stop, that what I was doing was wrong. So it comes back to the mother, as the doctor said. So we women, especially, you that is having Yahoo association, I pity you, because these children will still take you to cry in future. Tell them the right thing to be done. There are many ways you can make money in the right way. And the first way is sending them to school. Let them learn skills. Rome is not built in a day. Gradually, that money we're expecting to have now will definitely come. So it's a warning to parents, please stop misleading our youths. And you too should be able to know your right from your left and say, no, mommy, I cannot do this because of you. I can't do this. Yes, you can. When your mother sends you to do something you know that's evil, to go and do, so many evil things as a lady, or as you use what you have to get what you don't have, use your body and all those stuff. Tell your mommy, no, why didn't you use yours at your own age? Why are you sending me now? The money you didn't get before you treat me. You want me now to sell off my body to make money for you. If you refuse that, you're not disobedient. God will know that you're not disobedient. But it's better you obey God than to obey, that kind of a thing. So it is important that we really look at it holistically. Don't just say, because my mother said, because my father said, what are you supposed to do? Don't you have conscience to know that thing is wrong? So please, it is important we listen very carefully and put all the things we are learning here into action. Your final words, please.
Well, I think that you capture it. We all have rules to play as a parent.
Yeah.
We need to make investment into the lives of our children. I remember what my dad used to tell me while I was in the university. And shortly, thank God I heeded to what he said. There's a saying in my local dialect, I lost my mom while I was in primary 2. And I lost my dad while I was in year 2 in the university. But there is a particular saying which is the Omotio Niya, Kindebwe, a child that does not have a mother does not have sore at the back. So it's important for us to know that mothers in particular and parents in general have a role to play. And the moral value we want our children to have, if we deal with it at home, I can assure you that this society will be a better society than what we have. Thank you for having me. Vivid View.
Otherwise, you have said it all. You said a word is enough for the wise. So thank you again for coming to this program.
Pleasure.
We're really always personally, I'm always excited each time you're around. Thank you so much. And for that, our audience, thank you for your patience. Viewers at home, thank you. The production crew, nice job. And of course, the executive producer. I won't stop mentioning our sponsors. Please, God bless and bless you and continue to improve and your businesses. Thank you so much. Having said this, I want to invite artist G Smiles to wrap up this program. Say, join us next week for another edition. I am Ehiliz, the praying mother of the nation. Bye. Vivid View.
Say and do it.
Give me money, I like money, plenty money, yeah. My guy face the hustle, cause nobody send your papa, oh. Wherever they go, my jupa, oh. We don't come here to book out, oh. Go lolo, I beg you send your hustle, now everybody like to yell, but nobody wants to send, oh. I hate the beat a lot, oh. Or do you like it? My body, nobody go love you if you don't get the money. Even you go hate you. My body, nobody go love you if you don't get the money. Even you go hate you. Money, I dey find money. Oh yeah, send me money. I never send money. I dey find money. Now let's listen to verse 2. As I dey pray, Baba make you bless me. Praying family, me about to 40. Oh, fair to in my 40s. Kin low, kin stable, kin wa okay, yeah. They say money is the root of evil, but one thing with the genesis. The kind man who go ginger me, come on, no me man love pepper me. Let's go, let's go. Nobody go love you if you don't get the money. Even you go you, my body. Nobody go love you if you don't. Alright, now let's stand up. Let us do this. Stand. Let's go. Money. I dey find money. Oh yeah. Send me money. I dey find money. Oh Lord, bless me. Let's go. My body, nobody go love you if you don't get the money. Even you go you. My name is Samogola from Ifo Thank you for having me on PPP.